Here we go. Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and we're starting the show a little bit late. Sorry about that. But I have two people in the gallery already with me. I got Ed Waske with me and Mark Gerber. And I'm still going to make my way to the control panel to make sure we're streaming all right. Just give me a moment here. All right, so just about there, a few more clicks, and we'll be cooking with gas.
Mhm.
And so, Ed, how you been, Ed?
Oh, doing great. And at lousy weather, turned warmer today. Had a visitor over the last couple days, Mr. Weiss.
Oh, nice,
So we
nice,
got to sit and BS a little bit there.
very, very nice.
Yeah. And it showed, the progress I'm making on trying to organize things and slow progress on finishing airplanes.
Yeah, getting organized is a big undertaking, and it does get in the way of getting airplanes done. I've been working on my reverse engineering of my S311. Been making more progress on that on this here.
Mm,
So I'm making more progress on that, and then I start making locating the wood pretty soon. So I'm
yeah.
making some progress.
Now, is that a kit, ARF, almost ready to
Well,
cover?
well, this is I'm using an ARF uh, kit, but I'm gonna make my own fuselage
Uh-huh.
using this as a reference to replicate this
Yeah.
basically. And I'm gonna take the wing and the rest of the ARF. I'll take that, strip it, and refinish it so I can get appearance points. Get the, and I'm also going to install the control system so I can get the appearance points. So that's what the goal is.
Yeah, looking good so far.
Yeah, it's coming along. I've it's pretty neat how they, I think it was made in China, I believe, and it's just good craftsmanship. You know,
Yeah,
I think the wood is mostly in metric, so I'm just using instead of 3 millimeters, I'm using 1/8 inch stuff like that, and
yeah,
but it's coming along. I'm like I said, the next hard part would be to go through all my wood and pull out all the light wood that I have, which is not a lot of light wood. I have a lot of 6 to 8 pound, but nothing less. I mean, I have a little bit of less than six, but most of it's in that 6 pound to 8 pound range.
yeah. I've got a big stack of wood that I've never, weighed, and so after getting the calculator from Mark, I'll be going through that, and then I'm separating everything by 16, 3/32, eight, things like that. Whereas it's just all in a box and go try to find what you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm actually making a kit, and it's kind of a big undertaking. I see Gary Sinclair is in the chat box, and Gary, you made it in here. Great, but no problem, huh?
Tonight.
That's great. And then Marcel Legrand. Marcel Legrand says, "Hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School. Thank you, Marcel Legrand." So we have 9 concurrent viewers and 1 like. So if you haven't hit the like button, please smash that like button. It helps the analytics of the show and it helps us out. So thank you very much. And I think Mark Gerber came in next. Hey, Mark, how you been?
Good, Charles.
I'm glad
Get
you're
back
feeling.
into it.
I'm glad you're feeling better, Mark. That's great.
Yeah, the weather's improving too, so that's yeah. It was
Oh,
below zero here for most of 4 days.
wow. Yeah, it's actually raining in Southern California. It's raining in Escondido. A lot of rain for us. It might not be rain to other places, but it's a lot of rain for us. So I'm sure that when it dries out, the field's going to be a mess, and so it's going to postpone any flying.
We're supposed to have temperatures up in the 50s next week, so we
Wow.
may be able to get some flying in. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be good.
woke up to 3 degrees and the same thing in the 50s next week. No, this week. Actually.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I've been in 50-degree weather and I didn't like that.
50. Oh, that's nothing.
I know it's nothing, but I'm used to 70s. Usually it's somewhere around, and even that's kind of chilly. 70s is pretty typical in Southern California, and not too far from me is Lemon Grove, which supposedly has the best weather. Period, and it's not that far from me, Lemon Grove. So we have pretty good weather.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure who came in after Mark. It might have been
Did Mark get the camera or get the calendar?
Yeah, I did. Thank
Did
you
it?
very
Okay.
much.
Okay.
very
Okay,
good.
got it right here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, make it big here so you can show everybody with your camera.
Thank you,
Very
too.
good. Very good. January, yeah, and we have
Yeah, the right year too.
yes, very good. And then I think Howard Rush might have came in next. Hey Howard, how you doing, Howard?
Okay.
Good, good. Are you ready to do the geometric presentation?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, we sure could have used that last Friday. Anybody's watching Friday show got a little spicy.
Oh,
I thought the show was going to ignite. I thought it might lose control.
Uh,
Yeah. So what you been up to, Howard?
what, let's see. I've been trying to print handles for Phil,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, printed a couple. I wanted to print his name on the handle, and the software in my 3D printer thinks that that's a mistake, and it fills it in with the blank. So I got a couple of blank handles and started printing another blank handle, turned it on. That's not too exciting to report on, is it? We had our club banquet at Stonehenge here. That's not exciting either. I have nothing exciting to report as usual.
All right. That's cool. It's just it's that time of year too, Not a whole lot of flying weather for a lot of people, and including myself today, which is really rare because I've had good flying weather up until today.
Yeah, I did find Stunt Hangar Forum that this airplane that I got from Jordan is bogus because it doesn't match the plan.
Doesn't match the plans?
Doesn't match the plans. I guess that's why he gave it to me because it's not right.
Huh. What plane is this?
The famous Pathfinder twin,
Hmm.
Pathfinder 2 profile.
And you got the plans from who?
I don't have any plans. I got the airplane.
Oh, are you looking for plans?
No, I got the airplane. I don't need no plans.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you know it doesn't match the plans?
Yeah.
But everybody tells me I measured it and that the thing is completely symmetrical, and people got engine offset and stuff. I'm mistaken. Does the plan say so?
I have not even seen the twin Pathfinder plans. I have the plans for the LE and the plans for the regular Pathfinder, the Pathfinder Mark IV. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind getting plans for the twin. I understand that is. I know Bob Hunt said was it Bob Hunt? He said he flew it,
Yeah,
and
the
thought of,
one, but that's bogus though, so it doesn't count because it doesn't match the plans.
I thought he flew your plane.
He did.
Okay. And he said your plane flies great. One really good flying plane.
But it's not right.
You.
Well, let me move on to Lynn Burrell. Hey, Lynn, how's it going?
I think you should.
I'm doing well. And I'm enjoying this.
It's
It's very good. It's hilarious.
Are you confused or are you straight? with
I've
everything.
been confused. I've been confused all my life. Nothing's gonna change tonight. Come on.
Very good.
Oh man.
Very good.
I've
So,
been Naomi and I have been busy getting her airplane all framed up. We're pretty much at the point where it's got to be covered and put together. So we're happy. It's all good.
wow, that's great. That is great.
The
Twisterette coming along.
Twisterette coming along, and I've been monkeying around with a Brodak Zero and putting that together and just having fun, just tinkering away with stuff.
Oh, very good. Yeah, yeah, the guy
No,
that I fly with.
nothing. I'm taking a hiatus from being serious for a little while.
Right. Yeah, it's good to have some fun where you just can.
Sometimes it's nice to just step back from it a little. It's just it's been a long few years. It's time to step back a little and just enjoy the hobby and don't worry. Just build what you please.
Yeah.
Go out
Yeah.
and have some go out. I'm gonna go out this summer and I'm gonna have some fun, and that's the deal. I'm not gonna worry about the other stuff too much.
You sound like
He did
Paul
hard for sound like Paul who? Walker?
Paul Walker. Yeah, he
Yeah.
says that very thing and has said it every year for the past 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, as soon as he gets in the as soon as he gets in the
Well, it
circle,
works.
change.
Must work.
And that's the thing. As soon as you get in the circle, you might have a change of heart, especially when they're all breathing down your neck. It's all in good fun.
Did you get a calendar?
I sure did, Gary.
you get-
Thank you
okay.
very much.
I just
Much
wondered if there-
appreciated. There she,
got it there.
there she
Okay.
be. Oh yeah. Thank
All
you very
righty.
much. That's awesome, Gary. Naomi and I really enjoyed those pictures. That's awesome. Very nicely done.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes I wonder,
Work-
if they get them.
Your
So
work is impeccable.
No, it looks like Charles
oh,
is.
thank you.
Looks like
That
Charles
was
is. No,
that
there
was
he is.
Gordon.
He's
He's
back.
gonna make his way in here. He couldn't get in, and I sent him a link. So Gordon Delaney should be joining us shortly.
He's the perpetrator of this hoax.
Yeah, yeah, we got to find out about that twin that he made doesn't match the plans.
Yeah, he might have some splaining to do.
Yeah, but
There's
Gordon should be here
secrets that
shortly.
nobody knows about.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be interested in learning about that. I'm sure he wants the plans to match the plane. So what happened to Stuart? Stuart walked away.
I'm not giving him the fix.
Oh, there's Stuart. He's doing something. So let me say hi to Bob Whitley. How you doing, Bob? And I really dug those pictures, man.
Yeah, sorry I'm not dressed in drag tonight for you.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. Very,
Yeah, swinging a sword and drinking scotch and all that good stuff and listening to the bagpipes.
now, can you
Don't worry,
play?
Laddie,
I
but
know
you won first prize.
What was that, Howard?
I don't know where you've been, Laddie, but I see you won first prize.
Yeah, I know that one. It's just like you do know why. Before we get back to airplanes, you know why Scotsmen wear kilts?
No.
The sheep are afraid of the sound of zippers.
Oh yeah.
But no, it was a good time. Our weather's finally clearing up, and tomorrow morning it should be good to go. I've got at least a 4-hour flight booked, so be nice to get back in the sky and be doing some instrument training with a fellow or teaching. But got the workshop major reorganizing done the last couple of days. So it's I've got a lot more usable space without getting rid of anything. It's just amazing what reorganizing things and doing a different layout can do.
So how did you go about doing that?
My one workbench, I just reversed it 180 degrees, moved it closer to my table saw, moved my bandsaw, and so I've got a nice U-shaped workspace with everything in arm's reach for building models. No walking around a bench to get tools and stuff. So I've got, if you want, I'll just show you.
Yeah, let me make it big.
Cameras here.
Yeah, I like seeing people's shops, get some ideas just by.
So it's still a mess on that bench, my glass bench, but my dead smoothie from last fall, summer.
Right.
And just moved over my workstation there. Table saws freed up. Band saws over there now. Horrible mess on that bench still from working on that car. And continuing around. Drill press and all its storage cabinets and other stuff.
I like
Sort
that
of
storage cabinet you made underneath your drill press. That's
Yeah, I still got to put the drawer fronts on it. They're the raw material sitting beside it. So, and then my other bench here, I just turned it 180 degrees. So the vise is on this side, the drawers and whatnot. And also took and got around to, on my vise, my metalworking vise, just putting a 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 maple cleat under it for throw into the vices. And I did the same on my metal cutting bandsaw and my bench shear. So it's given me a lot more practicality in the place.
Your vise can come off really easy and go
Oh
on
yeah,
cleats.
yeah. I just use my end vise here, and I'll show you. Yeah, I just lift it off, and it's on a cleat.
Oh,
Oh, that
Yeah,
is so cool.
And then I can put it on any of my 3 woodworking vices or clamp it to a table. And I did the same for my metal cutting bandsaw and my shear. I'll probably do that with a few of my other tools too, like my small sheet metal brake and stuff like that.
Very cool.
And
Yeah,
I
looking
might
good.
even do it with my small drill press that I'll never use that here, but when I go out and help people out on their places and stuff, it's nice to have a small drill press. So I'll probably do a cleat like that so I can throw it to my workmate.
So the cleat is recessed onto your table. Can you show me that part?
Oh, it's actually, I just use it in my vise. Here, I'll take it out again here. Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
Yeah, I know they
Yeah,
are.
if
I have one very similar to that. Okay, so I see
If
that
you can
part.
see that,
I see that part, but
is that
what is
I
it going
can't really
into?
see from what I'm doing, but
there it is.
Oh, it's going into that vise. Okay, now I
I
understand.
get you.
yeah. Yeah,
I
I
didn't
have
see
3
that.
of
I
those
didn't see the
vices
other
on
vise.
my workbenches.
It's a vice and a vice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see how anybody can get by without a front vise or an end vise, a woodworking vise. It's like 2 or 3, at least 1 or 2 extra hands. Just makes it so much easier to do stuff.
I've been meaning to add a front vise like that to my workbench for such a long time. I just haven't. I'm sure once I get it done, it's gonna be like, man, how did I ever survive without it?
Yeah, I use them constantly.
Very good. You did some good organizing.
Yeah, it's coming. It'll never be done. Workshop's like an airplane. It's just eventually you just kind of quit working on it for a while.
Yeah.
Charles, if it wasn't so darn heavy, I'd send you one. I've got an extra one, but it's just too much weight. It would cost me a fortune to send it.
Yeah, I know. I'd probably be better off just buying it. I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen the ones
exactly.
that. I just need to buy a nice one. The ones I've seen are the ones that are at Harbor Freight.
Yeah. The other thing I need to do is relocate some of my overhead lighting now. I'll just maybe zoom up there and see if you can.
Yeah, light in the shop is very important.
Yeah, I've got these overhead sort of butterfly lights.
Yeah.
And they're sort of in the wrong location now. I got to move them back so they're centered on this bench and add a couple more for my other ones. But I've got them. I just haven't done it yet. But I literally just did this rearrangement this afternoon. So
Very cool. Now, do you have things on casters as well?
yeah, as much as possible. Like my
Yeah, for sure.
like my bandsaw, my sort of portable workstation that I've got one of my belt sanders and my scroll saw on. I throw whatever saw on that or whatever tool I want, and set them down when I need that free, because that's going to be serving as my outfeed table on my table saw now, because I got rid of the permanent one. And I need to find some wall space somewhere or something so that I can take my clamp rack and get rid of it and just have that wall mounted, so that that's a little bit more free space. Even though it's on casters, it's in the way. And my thickness planer, my jointer, my whatchamacallit, router table system, all of that's on wheels, out of the way. Same with my welder. So it's I've got a lot of crap in here. So
Same
I
here.
have a shaper that I also have squirreled away that I don't use much nowadays. So it's kind of hidden in the back corner. And then my lathe is, I don't have that on casters, but it's tucked away. I only use that every couple of years anyway.
Got a metal or wood lathe?
Wood lathe.
Very
More
cool.
real estate.
Pardon me, Len?
You need more real estate to keep all this stuff.
You got that
You need
right.
you need like a pole barn is what you need just for all your tools and all your stuff. I can tell. I know that.
Actually,
feeling.
this isn't even touching my tools, Len, because I got all my
Well, that's what
mechanics
I mean.
tools. My
Yeah, you
mechanics
need a pole
tools
barn.
are big boxes in the hangar, and then I've got a whole bunch of stuff, my motorcycle benches and all that in my container. So I've got a lot of equipment.
Yeah, you have what's called tool claustrophobia.
Yep, that's a good term.
Yeah,
And then there's
that's
all the wood
exactly what it
stashed
is.
away up in the
Oh,
rafters
yeah.
and everywhere
Oh
else.
my God. Well, I can tell just by
I've
looking
probably
over your
got
head.
20
Yeah.
or 30,000 bucks worth of wood in here at today's prices.
Oh my God. God help you if you ever have to move.
Better
That's what
increase
my
your
wife keeps saying.
better increase your insurance.
Yeah, my wife
Oh,
keeps
my
saying, "God
goodness.
help us if we have to move, or if I croak, what's she gonna do?"
Yeah.
Although
Well, the guy with the most toys-
she did say that my coffin's going to be my snap-on toolbox. I've got the biggest one they ever made, 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep.
Wow.
Gosh.
That's like $2,000 empty.
It's what the heck is the weight? I think it's 900 pounds empty. And
How the heck did you get it in there?
oh, it's not in here. It's at my hangar.
Oh, what your hanger?
Well,
Holy.
not my hangar, but one I lease space in. Yeah,
Oh, the hanger. Okay. All right.
the hangar,
Wow.
a hangar.
The hanger. Wow.
Yeah, and actually, kind of a funny story that might be airplane related if the guys keep their eyes open. In the early '90s, I worked in an auto body shop, and the owner drank away all the profits and everything, and stiffed me on pay. But in the meantime, I picked up this toolbox from Snap-on the company's account, and so I just repoed it for my wages.
There you go.
Oh.
So it worked out okay. Otherwise, I'd have been, worked for nothing.
Very good. Hey, Steve Manganelli, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Charles. Yourselves?
Doing well. Doing well. I don't like all this rain. I know we need the rain, but I don't like it. And I'm hoping that by the time when Friday comes, I think there's still going to be raining Friday. I don't know if we're going to be able to fly this week.
Yeah. Well, my roof leaked. My roof of my apartment's leaked. Well, my dad moved tomorrow, so it's going to be a busy week anyway. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but only flying I got to do this weekend was control line on Friday. Saturday and Sunday were too wet.
Right. Well, I'm glad we got that in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're supposed to feel sorry for you guys that only get a little bit of model flying in when we've been 40 below for the last two weeks.
Charles, we're heartbroken.
It's finally
for you.
warmed up. We're supposed to get into the pluses here, plus centigrade. So, over 32 Fahrenheit here next week. But right now we're still hanging in about 15 below Celsius. So that's about 2 above Fahrenheit.
Oh my God.
Charles, we're heartbroken for you.
I
Yeah.
Degrees. I can't handle that.
I bet.
The only saving grace is we haven't gotten much snow yet,
Okay.
That's right.
but
Same
it'll
here.
come.
Yeah, most of these other guys, they can't fly till April or May, Steve. So we
Yeah.
fly all year round. We haven't made.
I know.
You do.
I was
Oh,
big-
and
I'll
Gary,
trade
I'm
you
not
any
sure if
day.
I remember to thank you for the calendars.
You-
So
you
if
did.
not, thank you now.
You did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Paul very much appreciated getting one. So that was
Yeah.
nice of you. Thank you.
So what you been up to, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I avoided disaster at my house. We were making chili, and the hot supply line to the kitchen tap blew out. I mean, blew. I hear this, and then I realized there's water just pouring out from under the sink.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I just ran out to I knew where the shutoff valve was. It was raining. It was like, wait a minute, where's this water coming from? The rain, the roof. So I ran out, turned the shutoff valve off. My wife, in the meantime, goes for the pile of towels. We soaked up all the mess. A little bit of it went down into the basement. Luckily, it missed all my airplanes in the basement.
Good. Good.
Good. And by 6 o'clock, I had a new tap on and just a few towels in the dryer, and that was it. We skated.
Did your flooring in your cabinet survive?
Yeah, it did. Well, see, our kitchen is a 1970s kitchen. It's going to get replaced soon anyway, so it was solid.
Okay.
It didn't have any real. I mean, the water went behind the wall and down. It's lath and plastic, so it doesn't really. It's not like drywall that gets ruined. So as far as I can tell, there's really no collateral damage. It's just replace the tap and you know those pull down things that have all those flexible lines in them. Man, watch out for those things. Because, the stainless steel braiding gets rusty, and then the inside the plastic just blew.
They get old.
It didn't just split; it just blew. And I don't know, it came to the house, which we bought in 2012, so it could be. I don't know how old it was, but obviously, probably 10, 15
So
years.
if you hadn't been home and it was just your wife there, would she have known to go for that?
She would not.
No.
She would have.
You make sure that now she knows and knows exactly where to go and shut it off. My wife, I make it very clear in every house that we've ever owned, you know where that tap is.
Yeah.
Very important.
Definitely.
And Charles, this is model airplane related because we were talking about him narrowly escaping his workshop.
Getting wet.
That's right.
Missing his airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the
Averting
kitchen
disaster
it
of his
goes down
airplane.
and destroys the
Well,
air.
RC
That's right.
airplanes.
If I can digress just a little bit here, Steve, when you get your new cabinets built, if you have the option, spec out what I always did when I built custom cabinets. It's what I used to do for a living. The vanities and the kitchen sink cabinet, I always lined them with P-lam, pressure laminate, arborite, whatever you want to call it, Formica. And I'd line them with that and seal them so that if there is a leak, which inevitably somewhere in the house's history there's going to be, it doesn't destroy the cabinet bottom.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
You like that, Howard?
yeah. Because I'm a generator of leaks.
They said, and I do know how to shut it off. I'm the wife that can do everything.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody needs to
You've been
know where
told.
to shut it off.
Definitely had a lesson on how to shut off the water after that. I was like, I sent her out to the yard once to test something, and she basically got as far as the sprinkler shut off and pulled that lid off. I go, no, it's further down the way.
I wonder where Gordon is. Gordon should have been in here by now.
Oh, I just talked to him, in fact.
Oh, you was talking to him? Okay.
Yeah. And he can't get in. You told him how, but it didn't work.
All right, let me get to Tryon real quick. Hey, Tryon, how you doing?
Good.
Thanks for coming in. What you been up to?
Same old, nothing changed on my side.
Yeah.
I was just but I found something interesting. On Facebook, somebody was asking about, if anybody has a video of a plane in flight to see the flap deflection over there.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was I think the Team Scott has a video over there, and I could clearly see it. If you deflect their flaps, most of the time it was like in less than 20 degrees, about 20 degrees max. and it was one time that was actually passing that 20 degrees, and you no longer had laminar airflow on the top, so the wing was dragging more and was not creating more lift. So I thought it was interesting to see that we don't need that much.
No, we don't. I seen a video of Shug Emery, and he had a camera on his plane, and he had these streamers coming off the plane too. And you see that? I don't know if you ever seen that video, but that was pretty informative.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
So we don't use much control deflection at all.
No. About 15, 20 degrees max on the flaps. I use 15, more than enough. Because I think if you use too much, you're just dragging the plane.
So you
just create too much
15
drag
to 20 on your flaps, and then how much are you using on your elevator?
It's 15, 25, 15 flaps, 25 elevator.
Okay, that's how it goes. Okay.
You know, even on a full-size plane, for a lot of the aerobatics, you don't use a lot of control deflection, unless you're doing snap rolls or something like that. When I had my Citabria doing loops, rolls, Immelmans, I maybe once in a while I'd go to full deflection on the aileron, but rarely. And elevator, I might have got half travel doing a loop.
Yeah, but you got a lot of space too.
Yeah, but aerodynamics are still aerodynamics. It's got to be if you're doing a round maneuver or what you think is.
Yep. So yeah, that's one thing. Like I never understood why people need 45 degrees deflection on the flaps.
That's because that's the way it used to be done.
Yeah.
If a little is fine, a more ought to be really good.
Yeah.
Like my Nobler with the kits, the green box with the kit supplied hardware, it's just about 45 degrees flap and elevator. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can see clearly. You can see it in the flaps stalling. I mean, there's no airflow over top of the flaps of those deflections. And
many of the older designs do that. They design them to. They thought that, oh, you got to have 45 degrees movement. Well, you get that, and it's just a nightmare. They don't fly worth a damn.
Yeah.
Well, you sacrifice leverage over the controls by having them move so far.
Yes, like I think if you max your travel at 15 degrees on the flaps, maybe 20 max, you're gonna be with your full movement on your hand, just perhaps the best you're gonna get, or thereabouts. And all the gliders guys know this, because they know what it means to fly efficiently without drag, with maximizing lift and stuff like that. So you can definitely see them doing it in there.
Well, another example of full-size airplanes to maximize lift and minimize drag for short or soft field takeoffs. If you don't have a factory preset amount or detentes that you can only do limited amounts, you deflect the aileron to full travel and lower the flap to match the down aileron, and that gives you the most efficient. And the ailerons don't move that far on an airplane.
That might be configuration dependent.
Yeah, but some airplanes you never use flap for takeoff, but that's sort of old bush pilot lore. If you're flying a Super Cub or whatever, and your brain's doing a mental wipe and you don't remember, just lower it to the aileron, and you're pretty much good to go. Now I'm talking simple airplanes like, a Super Cub or a Cessna 185 or something like that.
No, I have a thought. Has anybody ever figured out how to get what we call exponential control for like us RC guys? So you get essentially soft neutrals, and then the controls go up a lot toward the end of the throw. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's.
I'm using them right now.
You're what?
I'm using them in my plane.
How?
Yeah.
What?
Do you have electric encoder, or do you have like a weird
No, it's mechanical expo.
Mechanical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Trying was telling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm using the ball bearing that goes through a slot, and as the bell crank moves left and right, the bearing slides through the slot, and control it's on the arm that's opposite of the control horn. I don't know if you want to see it.
Yeah, show it to him. I don't think he's seen it.
I do it in the opposite direction.
So you have logarithmic, yeah.
The flat, like,
no. So this is what I have here. So we have this. This is my bell crank, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
And this is an arm with a bearing that fits inside.
Okay.
So as the bell crank moves, I'm gonna get more movement, and it assembles something like this.
Yeah, raise it up a little bit higher, Tryon.
Okay.
Thank you.
So something like that.
Oh.
Just a second.
Isn't that cheating, Steve?
Where does the elevator control arm go? Oh, I see.
Here.
Oh, okay.
So I have it on a slider so I can adjust how much throw I want to have.
Wow.
But right now it's about halfway through. The bearing is here. The arm is here, is about halfway through. So whatever movement I get at the application point, this moves about halfway only.
Okay.
So in my system, I have very little movement. And at neutral, here, if you measure the distance from the bearing to the axle, it's about 5/8 of an inch only.
Okay. And then at full travel, it goes high, it goes bigger. Huh. I don't see how that would give you like essentially what an RC guys call exponential throw. You get
It is a little bit of expo, but it's not a whole lot.
That's sines and cosines. It's not an expo.
okay. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty clever. That's quite a contraption. So obviously it's homemade. You're obviously a machinist, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Obviously.
That's why I like this, because everybody in this channel does something cool. I mean, the RC guys just buy foam, crash it, and throw it away. You guys build stuff and design stuff.
Yeah.
When I went to Brodax the very first time and only time, I met a guy who actually made his own engines.
Wow.
He had the castings he was selling, I mean the molds for the cat to make the castings. And I was like, wow, you make your own engine, you make your own plane, it's like he made everything basically. He might have made the fuel too, but I was like, wow, that is amazing.
So that's what builder a model rule should be?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Hand carved props go crazy.
Well, I have seen people do hand carved props too. I've seen that too as well.
We'll grow our own rubber trees for our wheels.
What's that?
Yeah, I did it too.
Make your own wheels.
I didn't make my own props too. It's easy. It's not hard.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made some really nice props. Carbon fiber props.
Yeah.
You made the original windy molds, didn't you, Tryon?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah.
He made some props for RC folders, and it's a pain in the ass. It's way easier. Some Eastern European does it and send it to you for like $20 a piece or something.
Oh.
Sadly.
Yeah, I tried some of those props and I wasn't very happy with them. The pitch was wrong. Yeah. And I thought they were kind of heavy for electric setup. And some of the companies are doing super light props too. And I settled in with the Falcon props after all. Falcon, it's a company from China that makes very nice props, and I like them. At least they work for me.
I'm talking about 23-inch pitch by 26-inch diameter for FIB. They're made by a guy in the Czech Republic named Georgie that are beautiful. I mean, they're spectacular props, and he makes them just for the FIB event, and they go good. I've never seen do you have a reverse pitch control line props, or like, I don't know, like 11.6 maybe, or 12.6?
No, I don't have that. I just run normal turn, not the reverse.
Counterclockwise?
Yeah, I mean, just like if you do counterclockwise, then you have to rethink. And I mean, I'm so used to the feel of the plane with the clockwise props that, and then when you go counterclockwise, the trim is going to be different. You have new problems, and it's just the devil, I know, I guess.
Okay.
and they're available. They're more available. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the method to my madness on that one. Is counterclockwise more advantageous? Apparently, in Hourglass, people say yes, but I'm not really hurting for performance at all in Hourglass. And some other people are using counter rotating props with electric setups. Again, I never needed more thrust, and I never needed more for what I do. So I thought that complication was not worth the effort.
Oh, well, I do electric.
But, you have so many people. You have 100 people who have 100 ideas how to build the plane. So
yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah, whatever you like, whatever works for you.
Okay.
That's all
Very good.
Yep. Yeah, I'm polishing my
Great
mold right
attitude.
now.
What was that, Lynn?
I was just gonna say it's the right attitude. Let everybody do whatever they want. I agree.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's too bad a few people on the forum don't tend to agree with that, with the comments that they make regularly.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Gordon and help Gordon get in the show. So go ahead and carry on without me for a moment.
I find some people try a little too hard to sway other people their way, and all it does is get everybody riled up.
Exactly.
It's not necessary. Everybody's going to do what they're going to do, and everybody sees the hobby their way and the way they like to do it, and that's the way it should be. It makes it good for everybody. Variety is the spice of life.
My favorite time at the Nats, when I first started going to the Nats, is watching everybody flying everybody else's plane, sharing. Like Winnie had his twin, and everybody else was flying his twin, and someone else was, I mean, this is back in 96, 2002 ish, I mean, and what I call the more of a golden era, right? And that I know, right? And they had a blast, just sharing and sharing and get to know, so this is how you set up your control. So this is that, and sharing ideas and enjoying each other's stuff. So
yeah, and everybody learns something that way. When everybody has their own way of doing it, everybody learns a little bit, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I absolutely love just sharing my plane and just give it to other people to fly. So here, try it out if you want to.
I like having a few of the really good guys fly my planes because I build way better than I can fly. So it's nice to get the input and where I should go with it.
Yeah.
And just seeing it fly, hey, I built that and it's really flying well. Good.
You can actually do that. Yeah, this was perhaps one of my most favorite times. Like when I was at Florida last year, I exchanged planes with Orestes. He was flying mine, I was flying his, and that was the highlight of me being there. He wound up first in P1 and in the fly-offs, and I was in the fly-offs second. And but that doesn't matter, it was a good time, but I really enjoy sharing it with other people.
Yeah. I think I've been in contests where the best flyer, you could trade planes with the best flyer. He could still beat you with your plane, and he didn't care what plane it was. Just better flying skill usually wins, and the plane is just a means to an end.
Well,
even if it's a ringmaster.
I don't know about that,
but
maybe you
yeah,
never know. You never
yeah.
know.
People that flew my plane, names, would be Richard Oliver, Orestes, Fitzgerald, what's his name? Jesus Christ, God,
Wasn't him.
come on,
No,
yeah,
probably not.
Right.
yeah, a bunch of the monsters,
Getting old.
right? And it was most fun for me is just watching them after they land the plane, shaking their heads of like, what the heck just happened here? And they don't fly junk. I love the shark, I enjoyed flying the shark. I got to know it. I really wanted to fly a shark and see how it
That's
flies.
the Yasenko?
The Yatsenko, yes. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't find any difference in cornering ability or something like that between my plane and a shark. But one thing that I found that the huge difference between the two of them, it's how effortless my plane flies, and it's easy to turn it and stop it and nail it. It's much easier to fly.
So all your plane needs, Troyan, is that toolbox repellent device.
Yes. I should put like a radar for it. Yeah.
You're not going to live that one down. You know that.
Nah, that's okay. I learned my lesson. I have a yellow rag in my toolbox now. So when I put my lines up, I put my rag in a pocket and I go over there in the center. I take my rag and I throw it another 4, 5, 10 feet behind me. And when I fly, I make sure I stay on the rag or on the other side of the rag when I land. I learned my lessons.
What I do in our plain grass field, the one is so worn down in the center, you can't mistake it. But I've got a spray bomb of fluorescent pink, and I just spray a little circle right where I need to be standing to come in. Don't worry about it.
That works too.
All right, I'm back. I got Gordon Delaney in.
No.
I had misspelled his name. I had it spelled Gordon instead of AN for the email. So emails are so fussy. So and I see Jonathan Carradas came in. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Charles, I haven't been on for a while. I've been sort of busy doing other stuff, but it's that time of the year here where it's quite warm some days and quite hot, up in the 90 degrees, I guess you'd call it in your parlance, and very humid, up in the 90-degree humidity. So it feels a hell of a lot hotter some days.
Right.
I've been doing a little bit of flying, and there's a competition coming up this weekend, which I won't fly at myself, but I'll judge. I'll help judge down there. I got the tail end of Sparky's request the other day. I thought it was interesting about talking about speeding up the controls, and I thought of that little, I called it a the little computer thing that I made out of triangles and things, and you could adjust.
Yeah.
You can adjust all the variables, and you can end up with, speeding up your controls or slowing them down or whatever you want to do. You can feed the input in at one end, or you can take it out at the other and feed it in the other way and come around the other way. But it works very well. But also the interesting thing was that came up was about the loading on the elevators and flaps, and one way around that is to put spades on your elevators, of course. And I think that was mentioned, or may have been mentioned, but on my Fokker Wolf, I lessened the load considerably by having those spades at the end of the elevators, like they are on the real aircraft, and it made a hell of a difference to the loading at the handle, you know. So yeah, quite an interesting topic. So I don't know whether Sparky got it sorted out. Did he, Sparky there?
Yeah, Sparky's here. Matter of fact, hi Sparky. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier.
Not listening. He's gone.
Hello.
Oh, he's listening.
And yeah, Gary Sinclair, I wanted to say, was there any cost to that? Where is he? I thought I saw him here.
He's here.
I'm up here.
Yeah, was there any? Yeah, thanks, Gary, for that calendar.
You're welcome.
Is there any cost to that? Would you like a few brass
Whatever.
razors
If you want to
that?
give me something, you can. If you don't, you know.
Oh no, no. You know, we're very generous down here. I'll give you something.
Oh, he'll take
What we can
$100
do
then.
is just send it to his PayPal account. Or if you want, you can send it return. You can do it through the mail if you want, but you can just go through his PayPal account.
Okay. All right, I'll sort something out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
If you need any information, I can give you email. We can do it through the PM on the Stunt Hangar and exchange the emails and that kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. And how's everybody else going? Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Doing pretty good. I'm
How's Gordon Delaney going? How are you, Gordon?
Oh, good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Yeah.
I've been working on my profile.
I'm going okay. Oh, your co-pilot's just left the room. He heard my voice and left.
yeah, your dog just walked out as soon as Jonathan started talking.
Yeah,
They say dogs are good judges of character, so I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, mate.
Well, I got a couple of questions, Charles, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Gordon.
I sprayed last Saturday. I sprayed my KB clear epoxy over the dope, and when I took the tape off, it lifted the epoxy off the dope. And then when I took the paper off to see how it looked, the yellow is kind of a light green. It needed another coat of yellow, but I've already got the trim on, so I can't do that. So we'll just have to have this tint of green.
Well, I can tell you why it lifted the paint off, but I can't tell you why it turned yellow.
Well, it was supposed to be yellow, but it turned green.
Oh, green.
Well, tell me why it lifted. If you don't paint yellow over white, that's
No.
what can happen.
No. Dope is a chemical bond and epoxy is a mechanical bond. So
right,
in order for you to paint epoxy over the top of dope, you either have to put a self-etching primer and then scuff it up with 320 or add lacquer thinner to the epoxy, which sounds like you can't do it, but you can. I've done it 1,000 times.
Wow. This is the first, I've done this before for years and never had a problem before.
Have you ever seen where they used to put the urethane over the top of the dope? The whole clear coat would peel off in one big sheet because it wasn't prepped right.
Exactly. Say, what bell crank have you got in that airplane?
I have a Jeff Traxler Half Moon bell crank.
That's a Doug Moon?
Half Moon, made by Jeff Traxler.
Oh.
It's a really funky looking thing. I can't get it out now, but let me get this over here.
Wow, is that ever funky?
Mine doesn't look like that, but the lead outs are the same.
Yeah.
Makes it very, very smooth.
Yep.
That's cool.
If I had that on my first Tony, I still had the Tony. course, that was built, what, 20 years ago? Back in the late 90s. Now the new one's getting old, and I don't think it's got, 8 to 10 flights on it. So what airplane you working on there, Sparky?
Another Viper.
Oh, I sure like the way you do your spar. Way cool.
Beautiful.
That spar is clear white pine. It's for putting lath up. It's lath and plaster wood.
Holy crap.
So you go to the lumber yard and you buy yourself a stick of that wood, which looks like this.
And it's called white pine.
Yeah, it's for doing lath and plaster. It doesn't have a knot in it, and then you whittle it up until she looks like that.
Oh man, that's amazing.
How much does that weigh?
This one is too much. This is, I think, 2 ounces.
Wow. And the one I put in my Aptrix was, I believe it was like 3.25.
Well, the one that's in this airplane is 1.75 ounces.
Wow.
So I saved a little over 1/4 of an ounce by changing the spar.
Yeah, that would have saved me a couple ounces on my Aptrix.
But I got enough here to I got another spar that I could go ahead and build another airplane. I'm working out right now, what I've been doing is I'm working out the landing gear mounts. Part of the problem with beam wing control line or beam wing control line airplanes is bell crank location, as opposed to the torque pin on the landing gear. Like this is just balsa wood here. It's just a representation. So you got to kind of figure out where the lead outs are going to come out, where it runs through the spar, and how much it's going to hit that. I mean, that's at full deflection. It barely touches it at that position. But if I move the lead outs any farther back, I don't know. So I'm just kind of figuring it out. I'm gonna have to knock this out here, this spar, and move these up here. And then I can't move that by, but it'll be fine. I've done it 1,000 times. And I've been putting the landing gear in these beamers so that they're removable is I cut a square piece of plywood, I glue it to the spar and then to the leading edge, and then build my platform on top of that and knock these 2 ribs out and put in that square box for the removable landing gear.
Marvelous.
You
just did that.
You just got to think about it, So the bell crank's not really mounted yet. It's just kind of in there. The bell, I have, my normal compression. This should be basswood, but this is 7-ply plywood. So the bell crank mounts into that. That pushes on this rib, which is epoxied to the spar. Then a motor mount, a piece of motor mount, 3/8 by half, goes on top of that, glued to this. And then this gets filled with a piece of 1/2-inch balsa wood to attach the crutch to the spar. So it all becomes locked together right there in the center. It makes it solid.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
There's no way anybody could pull a bell crank out of my airplane. It would, the lines will break before the bell crank will pull out. No way.
What are the dimensions of that bell crank, Sparky?
It's a 4-inch bell crank.
Okay. And what would the throw be on it?
I've got it set at 13/16 right now. So I tapped a brass eyelet in there because I'm not running ball links. I'm just running push rods,
Yeah.
Ball links are great, for a guy who doesn't want to sit down and make sure the controls are perfect. They're real simple to get in there. But with heat and humidity, they swell and they drag. And if it's raining out, a lot of moisture, they really lock up. I saw McDonald almost lose his Thunderbolt over them stupid ball links where you're pushing on them. This control surface of a ball link is 1/4 inch because that's how big the ball is. So that's how much friction area you have. And on 3/32 music wire, it's only 3/32. So smaller area, less friction. But you got to be damn sure that the things are absolutely perfect so that they flop. I spend a lot of time getting my controls free. It's not as easy to do when you can just take a ball link and screw it down and you're done. You know, just cut the push rod to length and you're done.
Right.
But with my hinges and my controls, you know, smooth controls is really important.
Yeah, smooth controls can't be overemphasized.
Yep, the controls is the heart of the airplane. Bad controls, you got a bad airplane.
I've seen
Right
guys.
on.
I've seen guys out at the field where the flaps are touching on the fairings, you know, the fillets.
Right.
And I'd say, "You got any sandpaper?" And oh, they'll take the finish off. Well, you should have made it right. And you just sand them out, and then when you get that sanded out, you got to crank on the damn thing because they didn't, you know, when you put the flux on there, when you're soldering it, if you don't take and neutralize it with some
baking soda,
Baking soda.
they rust up and they're. How can you fly that thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The line tension keeps it tight, is what they tell me. Okay,
Oh.
but that was when you lose line tension.
Does
That's
that baking
scary.
soda work on your joints as well for the pilots as they get a bit older, Sparky?
Pardon me? But I'm doing my last quarter of the wing now. This airplane is 22 days old. I have all the parts made for it. I have this is not hollowed, but it's, you know, shaped. And the cowl and the rudder and the elevator stabilizer and the flaps. I got all the parts made. All I got to do is put it together. I haven't been working very hard on it.
You going to make a canoe out of that one too?
What's that?
You going to make a canoe out of that block?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This block weighs, I think it's probably 2 ounces now. I'll get it down to ½ ounce.
Yeah.
Take everything out of it.
Amazing.
Your work rate's very high, Sparky. You must be. I think you got a bit worn out there a week or two back, didn't you? You've been working pretty hard, one model after another.
Well, I got sick, you know, and it just knocked the sales right out of me. And I'm still not 100% recovered. Where I could go for, you know, 8 hours, I can only go for about an hour and go, I'm done. Sit down and watch TV.
Yeah, take it easy, mate.
But I'll get over it where I can get back to work.
Well, guys, I got to get up at 0 dark early and go flying, so I think I'll shut her down.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Bob.
Hey, same with me. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Hey, good night, Ed. Thanks for coming in, Ed. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
See you later, guys.
I have a comment on the chat box. I have Pete says, "Hey y'all, like sent." Thank you, Paul Taylor. And then Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, "Yo, everyone, how's it going?" And then we have Dennis Adamison, who is a member of our YouTube channel, as well as Gary Sinclair is a member of our YouTube channel. And Dennis provides with a like. And then we also have John Skukalek, who's a member of our YouTube channel. He also gave us a like. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in. And we have an audience of 17, and we have 13 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please smash that. Please utilize the super chats and if you're watching this as a replay, hit the super thanks. Click on those 3 dots, and then you'll be able to select thanks, and you can donate any amount you like. Either way, the super chat or the super thanks. I just hope that you would donate in regards to what you're receiving in return. I know that Sparky is building one plane after another. He's built so many airplanes, and it slows him down. He could build a lot quicker if he wasn't doing it for our benefit. So please support the channel.
That's a fact. I could build twice as fast if I wasn't filming.
Well,
Absolutely.
What's that?
I'm glad you are, but you're filming.
Oh, I guess you watch these things?
Pardon?
You watch my videos?
Yes, I do.
Gordon, you're a super builder.
Well, I still like like that spar design.
Always learn more.
That's right. Well, I was thinking of building the Harry 62 version. So I just thought I'd send you the plans. You could build me a spar, then send it back.
I don't even need you to send me the plans. I got the plans somewhere.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you use that spar, you won't believe how much stronger it is and how much lighter it is than balsa.
Well, that's what gets me is the weight. It's so light, I can't believe it.
Well, you got to think about it. You got this solid balsa spar. Nobody hollows those balsa spars out. Then you got all this crap epoxied on it. Most guys will add a strip of carbon fiber toe all the way around it with epoxy, and they start adding it. Well, you don't need it with that because it's hardwood. Well, soft hardwood, but you get the drift. And you just hollow the piss out of it, and you're only looking for strong enough. You're not looking for crash strong.
Exactly.
I agree.
And this is a 60-inch wingspan, and they always say, well, you can't build a I-beam 60 inches. Yeah, you can if you use the right shit.
Yeah,
of course, I always sew my ribs too. That helps.
Yeah, I've got the Colossus. It's a 60-inch wingspan.
Yeah. Did you sew the ribs?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you sew the ribs?
No.
With needle and thread?
Nope.
I sew all my ribs in lieu of having a third spar, a second spar back there.
What do you mean you run thread through the ribs?
Yeah, you go from the center rib here, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom, and so in between each rib there's an X like that, touching.
Oh, what kind of thread?
Kevlar.
Oh, wow.
And then you put a dot of CA on that, so that spar weighs nothing. I couldn't even weigh it. It's like a grain, whatever. And you can't break it because if you try to break that thread, it'll cut your hands.
Yes, I've tried that.
So do you notch it into the ribs on the bottom and top, or just lay it on the top and bottom?
No, I take a needle and I poke it right through the rib, so that
okay.
You sew it just like you're sewing a shirt. Go right through the center of the rib right there on the top, and then down to the bottom, and then up to and you go all the way out to the tip, turn around, and come all the way back. So it's one piece of string.
What a great idea.
Wow.
That is awesome, Sparky.
And then you take a drop of CA, and where they cross like that, I put a drop on that too. So it becomes a solid spar, and it weighs nothing.
Yeah.
What kind of
brilliant?
What kind of thread do you use?
Kevlar.
Oh, Kevlar. You said that.
Yeah, I bought a roll of this stuff. I'm gonna try it. I'm not sure that this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. I got the last thread from a parachute rigger. I don't know if this is gonna be strong enough, but what's going on here?
Wow.
Yeah, this is strong enough.
I'll just use the Kevlar.
Well, I ran out of that parachute rigging thread. That was sent to me by a guy in the Navy, and so I just get some needles like this, you know. This is Kevlar as well, but it's not quite as thick.
That looks like it's pretty strong.
Yeah,
Makes it lighter.
yeah, I couldn't break this without cutting myself, but
Yeah.
I wonder if you could use Spectra or the stuff we use to bind the ringlets on fishing rods. That's pretty light, and you can't break that in your hand real easy. Take your finger off.
well, I know that parachute rigging thread that I was talking about that I ran out of. That's in all my other airplanes.
Yeah.
You can't break it. You can't even break it when you put a screwdriver, you know, wrap a screwdriver in a screwdriver and then pull it like that. It won't break.
That's what you want. Yeah.
Hey, Sparky, would you show me those needles again? Kind of a close up. Oh, they're in the box. Oh, yeah.
Right. These are Singer sewing needles, you know, hook needles.
Oh yeah.
Which one do you use, the hook or the straight ones?
No, I use the straight one. You could use it. You could use
Either one.
I use this needle here. That's what's in this thing right here. Needle like that.
Okay. Now,
You just-
what is that thread you got in your hand?
This is Kevlar. It's
Oh,
just
that's Kevlar.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just a different gauge Kevlar than the other stuff that I had.
Well, they come different thicknesses.
Yeah, you can get it. This is for car upholstery. And the other stuff I had was for parachute rigging.
Oh, I see.
It's probably twice as thick. But this seems plenty ample as far as strength goes because I can't break it without cutting myself. So, you know,
Is that pretty expensive to get a roll like that?
no, $20, something like that. 22, 23, I can't remember. But if you think about how an I-beam airplane works, which you know how they work, Gordon, but a lot of people don't. Yep. This airplane is 100% weak, and it's weak as in its current shape. But the sum of the total is what gives you the strength. So you have the spar glued to the fuselage glued to the motor mounts, you know, and then the ribs going front to back, and then you put the thread in it. And the most important thing is the covering. And I believe that the smoother you can get the covering, the stronger it'll be. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like what do they call that? Stress riser. So if you did a crappy finish on the thing, you know, where you had pebbles all over it, would be prone to stress risen cracks, you know. So you get it smooth and it becomes extremely strong.
Yeah, my cloth is 60 inches, and before I covered it, you could twist that wing tip probably 20 degrees.
Oh yeah.
But after I got it covered in about 6-7 coats, you couldn't budge it.
Yeah, they're locked up.
Yep.
Now I was looking at a guy, and I was thinking about doing it, but when I found out the weight of this stuff, I changed my mind. Have you ever heard of anybody putting docu-lam on the wing and then covering it with Japanese tissue?
Yes.
There's a guy on YouTube. It's an RC guy, or a free flight guy. And he was building old time free flight looking airplanes, and he wanted a traditional looking finish. So he took docu-lam and ironed that docu-lam on it, and then put Japanese tissue ordered from Iski on there, and it looked great. And he was going boink, boink, boink like that. But
that's awesome.
With that comes the weight. It's 1.5 ounces per square yard. That's a lot.
Ooh.
That is a lot. So you kind of got
Pretty heavy.
you got to weigh your options. You know, do you want an ounce and a half per square yard? Is going to add at least an ounce and a half to your airplane, and it will be more or less indestructible. Nothing's indestructible, but it'll be more, you know, poke proof than straight double aught silk
Span.
span or Japanese tissue.
Yes.
But it's going to add ounce and a half, 2 ounces to your airplane. So I was thinking about, well, I got a roll of polyspan up there. I need to get rid of. Maybe I'll cover this in polyspan, 2 or 3 coats of dope on it, then put Japanese tissue on it, and then 2 coats, and then paint from there. So that'd be 5 coats. So we got 2.5 ounces in paint on it.
Yeah, Norm Whittle does that. He covers them in polyspan, puts 4 coats on, then lightly sands it and wipes it down clean, and then covers it with Japanese tissue. And
I thought he monocoated over the top of it.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, monocoated. And you know, the monocoat never moves after you do that.
Right.
He was really good at monocoating.
Well, his airplanes, his Sultans look great. I mean, they're beautiful. But
yeah.
I went to the top flight tent at the Nats, and I showed them my airplane, and I said, "Can you guys teach me how to monocoat?" And they said, "Well, why do you want to monocoat?" I said, "Well, because it's lighter." He said, "How much are your finishes?" I said, "Anywhere between 6 and 7 ounces." He goes, "We can't beat that." So what's the sense of learning how to monocoat other than it's fast and doesn't smell?
Well, plus you're ironing your finish already on the airplane. On my maroon Pathfinder, Keith Russell gave me 18 appearance points. And I says, "Keith, you know, that's monocoat on there." He says, "Yeah, but you did a very good job, and that's just as hard to do."
Well, I think it's probably harder to do than a dope finish, because once it's on there, and let's say there's a screw up in your woodwork, you're sunk. I mean, you can't go back and sand over it and fix it.
Exactly.
Nope.
It's there.
You guys, I need to bow out. Nice seeing you all. See you next time.
Hey, thank you, Steve, for coming in.
Have a good one, Steve.
Yep, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
So it's probably harder. Now the guy, and there's another guy that does the most fantastic job monocoating. You can't see a seam. That's Louis Rankin. Have you ever seen his airplanes?
I don't think.
No, I've heard his name. I've never seen a plane in person.
They're beautiful, beautiful. So this ain't monocoat? Yeah, it is. There's a seam right there. Well, you can't see it. It's right there.
Ted
Wow.
Fancher did that with his imitation. It was done in black. And I was telling him, I said, "Boy, you put a lot of work in there to get a finish like that." And he said, "Well, monocoat's pretty easy." I said, "That's not monocoat." So he swung the airplane up. I looked at it. By darn, it was monocoat. It was a beautiful job.
Matt Newman years ago had his black Stuka. Did you ever see that?
I did.
That was beautiful.
Yep.
But it had to be heavy. I mean, that had to be a heavy finish. Black, hardest color to paint, and it was perfect. So you had to have a lot of filler on it to get it that perfect.
Well, black is actually one of your lighter colors, that and red.
Well, I understand the part of spraying it on, but in order to get the finish,
yep,
the woodwork has to be absolutely flawless.
Yep, it's like a car. You paint your car black, it better be straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
My Skylark, I painted black. It's white trim back in the, I want to say 64. I flew it there in Wham for 3 years. And right up till they pulled my bell crank right through the platform.
Oh, damn.
Went out about 2 bays. So that ended my Skylark days.
Oh, damn. I have a comment from Stephen Smith. He says Lou Rankin calls it top flight dope.
Yeah. And ask Steve. It's beautiful, isn't it, Steve? I mean, his airplanes are flawless.
Well, Sparky, I wished I would have just sprayed clear dope over my Pathfinder Saturday instead of the KMB. That's
Yeah,
the
I wish you'd have asked me before you did it, because I could have told you that was going to happen.
Well, I couldn't get on. The last Monday and Friday, I haven't been able to get on the line.
Yeah, he's having a hard time getting in. You know, we did a little private Zoom meeting, and he was locked in. He was logged into Stunt Hangar Forum, but you couldn't see the at the bench.
Interesting. Let's see what the problem is.
Thank you, Sparky.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Talking about my coat. Here's that rebuild of that thing that I
Oh,
smashed
very
up.
nice.
That's my
Make it big here.
And the ribs in this, inside here, the ribs are made from 5mm medium density, high density foam.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you call it high density or medium. Can you see the ribs there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's white foam, model making foam. I think I talked about this before. It's about $4 a sheet. You get a hell of a lot of ribs out of a sheet. And this wing, when I made it, talking about, you know, stitching it up and that sort of thing, and how Bob was talking about you could bend the thing by 20 degrees. This was like that. And as the glue and what have you hardened up and everything went together, and it's stitched up now with the monocoat, it's as stiff as hell. It's really rigid.
Hang on just a second. Hey, Gordon, spell your name for me.
Gordan.
Gordan. Last name Delany. EY. Come on.
It does that when I stand in one position and
Elaney.
Like you said there, Sparky.
What's that?
I said you was getting blocked off there. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
I got you here. I'm going to give you a 24 supporters badge. That'll put you in a different class. That'll probably open it up. Now, that's the next thing is, do you have the forum opened up where you can find at the bench?
Yes. I go to the open forum on Stunt Hangar.
Okay.
I click on that, and it gives you all the different headings.
Right, but there was no listing from Charles in open forum for at the bench.
No.
You need to go down to at the bench, which is underneath
memory
of our friends.
Yep. And mine wasn't there.
Okay, well, let's see here. Yeah. Are you on your computer now? Go ahead and check it, because you should be able to see it.
Well, let's see.
I guess we lost Stuart Morrison. He must have checked out. And looks like Gordon checked out too. I imagine he'll be right back, I imagine.
While that's going on, Charles, is there any of you guys snowed in or iced in?
No. Myself, Jonathan, I live in Southern California. I don't need to ever worry about that.
No.
I did get rain today, though, which there used to be a song by Diane Carroll. It never rains in Southern California, but that must have been back in the 50s or something. But
yeah, it's not true.
Not true any longer. It rains in Southern California.
But I think I was sort of seeing temperatures of sort of like freezing and below, going right up through
Mark Gerber,
right up through the Midwest. Yeah.
Mark Gerber's in Colorado. It gets pretty cold there. I had Stephen Smith did respond. He said, "Yes, very nice." This is regarding Lou Rankin's monocoat finishes. Very, very nice. What was that, Howard?
I have a model airplane item of interest, I think.
Oh, great.
They turn the if I can figure out how to do this.
And just turn your camera.
There we go.
Make it big here. Wow, that's some rib.
3D printed.
3D printed, yeah, by Colton Lutz, who's Mike Haverly's grandson.
Oh, good one.
How much does it weigh?
I don't know. I'll go out to the shop and weigh it. I think it's 2 grams.
That's too heavy.
Too heavy.
Yeah. Well, it's
Probably is easy.
Sparky. I couldn't get it.
It's got to be on your end because it's working. So here's what we do here. Wait, can you open that window with staying on or not?
Let's see. Are you still there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
here.
still here.
So that's right in the way. I can't
Okay.
look.
The first page, the forum, open forum, you can see open forum at the handle, rules discussion, CAD users, online judging clinic. As time goes by, you see those?
Well, yep.
Okay. You see Stunt Hangar admin announcements all the way, keep scrolling down. It's underneath Ukraine info, classified Ukraine info, Stunt Hangar admin announcements. You see that?
Oh, Stunt Hangar. Yes, I see that.
In memory of our friends. Do you see that?
Yep.
Next one down, live streams at the bench. Do you see that?
Nope. It says model library.
Okay, over to the right, there's going to be a little, go right underneath in memory of our friends, go over to the right. There's a minus or a plus mark there. Do you see that?
All the way to the right.
Yep. Live streams, it'll be a blue bar. Go all the way over to the right where it says unread posts, and there's a plus mark there. Click on that plus mark.
I don't see it.
Gotta be there. In memory of our friends, then it's a heavy blue bar. It says live streams. Do you see that? Right under in memory of our friends should be live streams.
Nope, don't have it.
Okay, that next blue bar down there, what's it say?
Model library.
Go all the way to the right on that blue bar, right above model where it says model library. Go right above it. There's a blue bar on the right. There'd be a check mark, or a minus, or a plus. You got to hit that plus mark to open that up. Somehow it got closed.
I don't see it.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move this live stream section to inside, right underneath Ukraine info. Let's see. It's manage. Find Ukraine info. Try refreshing the page.
I did that.
Okay.
Okay, I just clicked out of it. Now I come back in. I go down to memory of my friends. Then I go to model library.
There's no live streams in between announcements and model library.
Nope. It says in memory of my friends and then model library.
Well, that's odd. Why wouldn't you be able to see that? Let me check here. Members, search for members.
Yeah, no, I don't have any plus or minus at all.
GORDANDELANY.
EY.
EY.
God damn.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay, Gordy. I want you to get in.
EY. DENEL.
DELANEY.
EY. Okay, search. I'm going to go to your profile and see why you can't see that. You're not on restriction, so
No.
account settings, form profile, unless there's something wrong with your computer, because this has worked for everybody for 17 years. I've never had this happen before.
Well, I can believe that. Well, when a couple weeks ago, when Charles showed me how to get in that way, it was there. It was there one time, and when I went for the next meeting, I went to there and it was gone.
Yeah, you clicked on something to make it go away, and I believe it's that check mark off to the right. All the way to the right of the screen. Slide your screen over. I don't know what resolution you got it sent at.
Oops, what happened?
Hey, Steven, you trying to get my attention, Stephen McChelly? You're muted, by the way. I muted you because your mom was talking in the background. Steven, you got to unmute your microphone. I muted you because there was background noise.
I made mine go away.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your profile. You're not restricted from anything, so it's on your end.
Yeah, that checkbox on the right. When you close it, then the bar says live streams.
Correct.
So push the plus sign to the right of the bar that says live streams, and then something might happen. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, at the bench will show up.
At the bench, go up.
At the very top?
No, to the right. Right underneath, in memory of our friends, there's a dark blue bar. It says live streams. Go all the way to the right. There's a check mark or a minus, plus or minus on the right of the screen, all the way to the right of your screen.
Nothing there.
Yeah, you better. I have no idea what's wrong with your computer.
Memory of our friends, and then it says model library, and I don't have any boxes to check on the far right.
Turn it off and then turn it back on.
Hey.
How many times? I've turned it off, Mark. Now I'll come back.
Admin. Let me go in here.
So it's the first thing the IT people tell you when you call for help.
Yeah.
Yep, it's not there.
What happens if you double click the ALT button?
Boards, posts, and topics. I could make that non-collapsible. We could try that. Simple audio boards. At the bench. There we are. Modify. I don't want to make it collapsible. Yes, regular. Everybody's in there. Extra gallery manager. You have the permission to do that. Count posts. Board theme.
Yeah, I went back out.
I guess I could move it.
I can't tell you. I don't have those little boxes you want me to click on. I think if I had those, I could probably fix it.
Let's see. Members allowed to manage boards and categories. Enable child to post, count child posts, enable recycling. Allow boards to be ignored. No, we don't want that. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. I mean, it's worked for 17 years.
I know.
like I say, I had that one time that Carter showed me. And when I went back to the following session, it was gone.
Okay, I'm gonna move this board. Let's see, we're gonna do open forum. No, I'm not gonna move it. I don't know what to tell you, Gordon. It's on your computer, and I got to be sitting right there to fix it.
Well, I come in. Carter sent me a link, and I went in that way, and that's the way I used to come in. You know, when it says, "Are you aware of the Monday, Friday meetings?"
Yeah, well, Charles didn't post that.
Well, he had for a couple pages now, but when he was posted on the regular page, I'd click on that and it'd bring it up.
Right. Why don't you go ahead and put that in there, Charles? Copy and paste it in there and see if you can go in and find it from there.
All right.
I'm sorry to take up all this time, Charles.
That's okay. I missed you when you wasn't in here. So let's see here. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, scroll down. They get so long, you know, there's like 3,000 posts on it. You know, I don't want to have it 3,000 things long. I need to probably delete a bunch of them.
Why would they post on that?
Charles does to announce where to find the link. I don't know why people post on it.
No, I mean, it only shows it up one time on a page.
It changes every meeting. It has to have a different link.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So Charles will post something in open forum. You go there and see, if you click on that, it should take you to at the bench. And if you can see that, then something's wrong with your computer.
All right, just give me a second here. I just was trying to find that old announcement there.
Yeah, page 2 or 3, probably.
I think it was on page 3.
Okay, I'll just make a new one. I'll just do something on open forum real quick.
Okay. Invite and drop it in.
All right, so let's see here. Okay, new post.
Well, that's strange. I probably clicked something, Sparky.
That's exactly correct. I'll bet it's operator error because there ain't nothing wrong with the forum.
Well, I'm glad. That's really weird.
And I even gave you a 24 badge, and that should have unlocked everything for you. So.
Well, I appreciate you doing that.
Hey, Gordy, just go into the open forum, and I just called it Stunt Hangar Video Hangout, and then the link to at the bench is there. So click on that link, and then that should bring you to at the bench.
Okay, I'm going to click out of the bench right now. All right. That way I'll know if it's working.
Takes me right there.
Waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. Stephen Mancelli, what did you want to tell me earlier?
I was just gonna try to help these guys out with their computer screen, but I don't think they have the same issues that I experience sometimes with mine. Sometimes on my computer, when I fly my flight simulator, if I change screens, a piece of the screen at the bottom will disappear. And in order to replace the screen back to its standard size and placement, you have to double click the ALT button down at the bottom next to the space bar. And once you
Okay.
double click the ALT button, then the whole page and the whole window will open back up to its normal size, and it will retain its structure.
Okay.
And perhaps that's where the bottom 2 lines of the menu are gone missing at, is all I was trying to get at.
Okay.
But maybe not. It's just a suggestion. And
No problem. Have you been doing any building, or I know you haven't been doing any
I've been
flying. It's
trying
been
to doing
raining.
some sanding and doping today, and getting ready to put some paint on a Ringmaster. And then I want to slam a Super Tiger 51 in a Brodak ARF and glue it up. And didn't do no flying this weekend because it rained both days pretty good. And my arm kind of needed a break anyways. So I ended up flying on Friday. I put a couple flights in on Friday, and that's it. That's about it.
Gordon should have been back by now.
Here he
Charles.
is. He's back now.
Yeah, it wasn't there. I tried to go into it that way like we used to and couldn't get in. So I went to the email you sent me, Charles,
Oh, wow.
and that lets me in.
Well, that link that I put under the thing called Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, that link was just supposed to take you just to at the bench. Did it do that at least?
Well, I tried.
And did it take you to at the bench?
No, it didn't.
It has to.
All right. I'll go try it again.
Yeah, you don't
just
have
called
to
it
click
Stunt
off.
Hangar Video Hangouts. It's gone.
Did I see where did Caffeine go? Caffeine
I think he left.
disappeared.
Maybe he might come back, but he
He
left.
left.
So Howard, how much did that did you weigh that rib? He said it he thought it was 2 grams or 2
1.7 grams. It's 10 inches long.
10 inches long, 1.7 grams.
Yeah.
1.7 grams. There's 28 grams in an ounce. 16 ounces in a pound.
Is that light
That's not that heavy actually. You could build a nice airplane with those ribs, I think, and you'd be right about right, the right weight, wouldn't
what do
you?
you think, Sparky?
No, too heavy.
Let's
So
compare that.
what's an acceptable weight for a rib in grams?
Well, that would be 2 of these. Well, we'll even say 3 of these for a rib would be more wood than you can count. And this doesn't weigh, shit. Probably won't even make my scale move. I'll weigh him for you. We'll wait for Gordon to come back.
Here's an impact rib made out of balsa.
All right. Good
What does it
comparison.
weigh?
1.36 without the chunk cut out of the back. So.
Yeah. 1 of these does not move the scale. 2 of these does not move the scale. 3 of these
A substandard scale.
does not move the scale.
Well, those aren't even full ribs. Those are just like
Yeah, there's 3 of them here. Now
they're
think
strip
about
ribs.
it. Listen, there's a full rib right there, right? 1 full rib.
Okay.
That would be 1 full rib. So I added this for extra weight. You can even measure 4 of them. They probably
Now
won't.
try 4.
Go to Temu. They advertise on Stunt Hangar, and you can get a 100th gram scale for like $5.
I got a pot scale
There's
here. Let me get the pot scale. I'll tell you what each rib weighs.
All right.
This is for marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, marijuana.
When you said pot scale, I wasn't even going there.
The pot scale. Oh man.
So that one, That one doesn't move the needle.
Why didn't you just say the digi? Get the digi out.
One
Oh
of
my
them
God.
doesn't move the needle. I mean, we're talking grains here. We're not talking grams. Two of them weigh.
Yeah, you need a powder weighing scale.
Two of them weigh a half a gram. So 4 of them weigh a gram.
Wow.
So 1 gram.
No wonder your planes are so light.
One
I'm gonna
gram
go
for
down.
4 strips?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
3.5 pound wood.
Now I want to go downstairs and weigh a rib. I'll be back.
Why don't you wait? Why don't you go waste some pot?
Yeah.
So, Gordy, how'd you come in?
I went to that link you sent, and the reason it was screwing me up is it said Friday instead of Monday.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It had 2 Fridays there. Then I looked at the date. Oh.
Yeah, Charles does that. He cuts and pastes and doesn't switch the days.
Yeah, it just goes to show you I'm not perfect.
Well, but we're used to you doing that, so we're all, don't worry about it.
So you guys aren't even letting me know anymore. It's like, that's just Charles.
Yeah, Gordy about it.
Well, I'm glad it's not the forum.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I could have got it, but when I saw Friday, I didn't look at the date. And then I
Sorry
went
about
back
that, Gordy.
2 Fridays there.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that right now. You know the show is almost over. That way I don't have 3 Fridays this Friday.
Oh, don't switch to Monday. You don't get out of phase. I just leave it at Friday for Friday.
Oh, there you go. Well, I appreciate you trying to help me out here.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely, Gordy.
So I enjoy Sparky's videos that he makes.
Well,
Yeah,
you're
he
the
does
one
a
that's
good job.
watching.
What's that?
You're the one that's watching.
Yeah, well, I want you.
Do you mostly watch the replays or do you watch the live when he does it live?
Oh, I don't know. I just click on YouTube and pull him up and see what he's doing. I guess I could probably go to live.
Okay, then.
I've watched it. Can we still talk if you're live, Sparky?
You can you type. I'm not doing a Zoom meeting. I'm doing I'm just streaming out like I was, like Charles would talk and have nobody in here. So that's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, I could hear you
talk. Time.
Sorry, I don't know how about that goes.
Okay, Lana, what does a rib weigh?
I got the one I used was the center rib for my shark or impact or whatever it is. 2 grams.
Holy cow, throw it away.
Yeah, get another one.
That's probably, was that an 1/8-inch rib or a 16th-inch rib, Len?
16th inch rib.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's terrible.
And these are all
guys
8. All these ribs are 1/8 inch thick.
Holy crap. I'm gonna have to start building vipers. I'm getting killed here.
Well, let's weigh all these ribs I got here. All the ribs together. Let's see. This is more than enough to do 1 wing. Let's see. We'll do 1 wing. 18.
Oh, that's an I-beamer. Those are little wimpy things. That doesn't count.
They don't
That's what I was thinking, Howard. I was like, that's not
those
even
are-
a rib.
That's
not
right.
ribs.
Those are strip ribs.
That's not a
7, 8.
You know, one thing about an I-beam, at least they're real strong.
7.
Yeah, when it gets put together, it's all done. It's real strong. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's
Then,
covered.
15.
then what he's saying
So
with
I'm
that Kevlar stitching, how he does that, boy, oh boy, will that make it real strong.
Yeah.
Okay,
Until it
there's
hits.
there's 18 ribs, enough for one side. This probably weighs
Okay.
5 grams, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Power. I can't tell. It weighs 4 grams.
Wow.
18 ribs weighs 4 grams. Now it's bouncing back and forth. Now it says 5.
Wow, that's no
Four,
wonder the planes are so light. Those Vipers. Wow, it's amazing.
Light duty.
So if you count top and bottom, that's only 10 grams total for one wing.
Yeah,
Oh, that is top and bottom. That's enough for both.
no, that's enough for the top. So you double.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It would be 4 times this amount. So we got 4,
Okay.
8, 16, half an ounce for all the ribs.
So,
Wow.
so how much do your airplanes weigh when they're completely finished, Sparky?
That one up there is 52 ounces. The other one's 53 ounces.
And what size are they? Let me interrupt you. What's the wingspan on those? 60 inches?
Yeah. Super Tiger 60.
Yeah, and they're at 52, 53 ounces, you say?
Yep.
50,
Yep.
52?
Yep.
Nice. Very nice.
Well,
Yeah.
how many ounces per square inch is that? About 8 ounces.
I have
square
no
inch, isn't it?
idea. Gordon
Square foot.
figured out it was like 760 square inches.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be about 8, something like that, surely.
And they weigh
That's
52
that's
and
incredible.
53 ounces. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very light for
You
big
don't
old
need a
display
motor.
like that.
You don't need a motor, Sparky. Just throw it up in the air and swing it around.
Yeah, whip it.
Unreal.
Not too good in the wind, though.
Yeah, don't do too good in the wind, does it? I was just
Not
gonna
when you're
say
whipping it.
you got to have a little bit of weight. You got to have a little sack of potatoes out there on the end for the windstorm.
Absolutely not. Let me reiterate the statement so you get that correct. I can do the maneuvers upwind with this airplane. It's got 3 degrees of motor offset. It would
Ooh,
not do good in the wind if I didn't have a motor in it.
very nice.
Wow.
Very
Okay,
nice.
Sparky, I figured yours at 740 squares divided by 53 is 13.96 inches per ounce.
Wow.
And back in the 60s, we decided that a 37-ounce Nobler was approximately 13 and a half inches per ounce. So anything in the 13s is a super light wing loading.
Yeah.
No kidding.
My old green and white twin is 10 and a half inches per ounce.
Super light.
No, that's super heavy.
Oh.
The higher the number, the lighter the load. Per square inches.
I'd like to get this one at 48 because this is different wood than I used in the other airplanes. The other airplanes was my 3rd choice wood that I had on the shelf that I've had on there for years. I built airplane after airplane, these 2. But this one here is a new batch of wood. That's the heaviest piece of wood in this will be like 4.5 pounds. This is 3.5 pound wood here for the ribs. And the leading edge was 3.5 pound wood. I mean, everything is the lightest wood I could get in this airplane. So I'd like to see 48 or 49 ounces out of this one.
Jesus, Murphy. Pretty soon it'll disappear. It'll be so light.
Yeah. Bob Hunt says, can you build an airplane too light? And he says, maybe, but he hasn't seen one.
Okay. I bet Billy never saw one either that was too light.
Billy's airplane, it's an amazing, that Thunderbolt is amazing. It's 53 ounces and it's just a monster. It's, it's got that hog fuselage on it. I don't know how the hell he did it.
Yeah, it weighs 740 squares.
Whose? Billy's or mine?
Billy's.
Yeah, it's
That's a big airplane. That's a monster.
He made a comment and he says, yeah, Gordy, he says, you had to add 3 inches just so it'd be bigger than mine. Because my Tony's 743. And I says, if mine weighed what yours did, it'd be a monster.
I picked that airplane up once. It was amazing.
It's 53 ounces. I took it from the guy who weighed it at the Nats when I judged it and went, yeah, oh man, that's super light.
Yeah.
Well, I watched one of the videos where they were weighing it either at the trials or at a contest or something, and they put it on the scale, and that's what they said, 53 ounces. I'm like, holy cow. But I didn't know that it was 740 square inches.
It's
That's
a 10-inch
wild.
root cord. It's a 10-inch root cord or 10.25-inch root cord with a 62-inch wingspan. Mine's 11.5-inch root cord. This one's a 59-inch wingspan. So I've opted for low aspect where he opted for high aspect.
Well, that's really not high aspect if you compare it to my twin.
Billy's 62?
Oh, yeah. My twin is, I think 6 points. I can't remember for sure. It was 6 point something aspect ratio. Most of the stunt airplanes are around 4.8 to 5.2, right in there.
Did you ever see my S6B Supermarine? I flew it at the Nats. I let Bob Lampione fly it.
Which one was it?
This airplane here. I'll show you. The one hanging on the wall.
We're in for a treat. I remember seeing a windy video of that plane, Sparky.
Yeah, that one hanging on the wall there. That's an S6B Supermarine.
Yep.
That's a 66-inch wingspan, and it weighed 58 ounces with a PA-65 in it.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's got to be a fairly high aspect ratio then too.
Yeah, that's Billy's wing. That's a Thunderbolt wing. So basically that's a Thunderbolt redesigned. Because I had built some Thunderbolts, and they have an inherent problem. When the engine shuts off, you can hear it. It goes because it got that big hole in the front. I said, well, we'll just streamline this thing. So I built that one. It's 58 ounces. Where I screwed up was the nose moment on it's only 8 3/4. I should have made it 9.5. And so
A little bit longer.
Yeah, even though it's 58 ounces, it's still tail heavy.
Yep.
Oh.
The heavier the airplane, the more the CG goes to the rear.
That's right.
And the lighter the airplane, the more it goes to the engine.
Hey, Gordy, there was I have a question. Howard Rush, you were saying that your twin Pathfinder that you got from Gordy is different than the plans?
Yes.
Yeah, I got hoodwinked. He gave me this airplane that's not right.
Fun.
Did you ever see Whiteley's LA Heat?
Yes.
What's the wingspan on that? 72 or something stupid?
Oh, no. You know, the funny part, both mine and his had 960 squares.
Really?
Mine was 10 or 12 inches longer. He had
The LA Heat is that big?
Yeah, it's a big plane.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw one at Brodex. That's massive.
Yeah, well, my twin's a longer wingspan. It's a 76-inch wing. So he made a lower aspect ratio, and it didn't fly as good as mine, I'm sorry to say. You know, the reason that flew as good as it is because Whiteley's a darn good pilot.
Now is Whiteley's, excuse me real fast. Is Whiteley's LA Heat, is his the one that's burgundy, white, and yellow?
Red or copper color, I thought.
Yeah, something like that. That's the one, right, Sparky?
It was copper, I thought. Copper or red.
Well, whatever it is. Kind of looks like a USC uniform, kind of.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what a USC uniform looks like.
Well, the colors of it.
The base coat on Whiteley was white.
Oh, it was white. Okay.
Right, and then they didn't have burgundy and yellow on top of the white.
You trying to ask a 81-year-old man if he remembers that far back?
You're not 81 yet. Soon to be 81.
Well, I want to ask you this, Gordon.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember you used to fly at Whittier?
Yep.
When we used to go hang around the garbage can in the morning when they light it up when it was cold and get warm. And Lou McFarland came out with his shark, and Warden and Bill Noyes said that's the end of Stunt as we know it, and everything went downhill from then.
Well, Jim Rhodes built his shark. It wasn't an RSM shark. It was McFarland shark. And I got to fly it a couple times, flew extremely well. It really flew good. And Jim's was only, I think, 56 ounces. One day he was at the park flying and his nose wheel broke off.
Oh, ouch.
So, it broke off on landing. So he wanted to fly it again, so we just hand launched it. And he had a big gob of clay on the tail to move the CG back. And it even flew better without the nose wheel. I mean, it just hammered the corners. Real easy to fly.
I think those sharks and that other thing that Charlie Reeves built, whatever it's called, Humbler. That is the ugliest looking airplane. I hate it.
Well, it was supposed to look like a fish, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess. It's ugly.
Yeah,
I never liked the look of the shark either.
But once
I think the shark's a bitchin' looking airplane. I think it's beautiful. I think they're badass. I like them.
AJ, everybody has their opinion, and that's okay.
Right. Yeah, right.
They flew good though.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever build one. I better not say.
Never say never, Gordon.
Yeah, that's right.
We've all done that, and the next thing you know, it's on the board.
I was reading through Win Paul's Stunt history book. I didn't realize Bill Noyes went that far back.
Oh yeah.
I knew him when he was. I guess he probably was. He had to be 40, maybe 35. When you're a kid, everybody looks super old, but him and Tom hung out together, and I think Tom was about 35, maybe. I think he was about 70. He was 70 something when he died.
Yeah, one thing
I don't have the reserves to see.
In the book there, they put Mark's twin design in 66. It was actually drawn up, plans were drawn in 1959. And then he was showing it to Raul Alva, and he saw that never make a good stunt ship. And if you told Mark he couldn't do it, it wouldn't work, he had to build it to prove you wrong. So in 61, he jumped on the wagon and built it. And we test flew it in March of 1962.
What airplane was that?
The big Too Much, the blue and white twin.
All right, Too Much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's Chris McMillan.
Yes, it is. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris, you got to unmute your mic. I muted your mic. There was a lot of background conversations.
I remember him when he had black hair.
I used to fly with his dad.
I used to have blonde hair, and I had a whole head of it.
Yeah, my dad had blonde hair back then. Well, Laura's in the kitchen right now, so she's on a phone call. So I'm gonna listen to you guys for a minute.
All right, man. Thank you. Well, it's 9:08, guys. I'm going to end the live stream. We don't have to go away, but I just want to end the live stream. I try to keep the shows down a little bit in length. So I thank everybody for coming in. And we didn't get any super likes. I mean, no super chats, no super thanks. If you watch us the replay, please hit the super thanks, hit the 3 dots, and click on that and please donate. And then if also do the likes. And today's Monday. We'll be back Friday. Fair winds and tight lines. See ya.